Is my voice audible now? I hope you're able to hear me. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think now it's audible, right? Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. Let's quickly start with the session today. And oh, think there. Okay. So we are there in the verge of completion of our quite a long vacation. I think quite a long time. Sometimes it was Dashera, then right after that, Diwali. I think some schools got a long weekend out there. From Wednesday, Thursday onwards, the schools were holiday. You would have gone to your native place, and probably on the way back home right now to respective cities, if I'm not wrong. That's what is happening at least in Bangalore over here. And from Monday onwards, from 4th onwards, the schools are back on track. Now, generally, majorly, the schools begin with their own festivals in the school, like Sports Day, Annual Day. It could be lot other festivals with different names out there, and that's going to be the next season of festivities that we'll have within the school setup. However, till December, once everything settles down right after the winter break, probably then begins January, the season of examinations or preparation towards examinations, or the time when the teachers are in a hurry to complete their portions. I just have got 1 month left or maximum 40 days. And now I'm in a position to complete before the March exams. And CBSE has this habit of, preponing the board exams little by little, reducing the number of days for, more practice and completion of syllabus. Well, right now, with respect to these agitations, with respect to so many announcements, with respect to massive changes in the policies, with respect to the change in dynamics of students' mentality, there was one important topic that we were always wanting to speak about, and that's called as the healthy teacher. The healthy teacher we wanted to present right now at this particular time for one fact that it is 85th Super Sunday workshop, and we felt that this is more like a milestone, and almost nearly 400 to 500 participants have been very regular for the last literally approximately 1.5 years actually, and we thought we should speak about it. So today's session is not going to be about like some really good information related to medical sciences and neurons and the way a teacher thinks. Nothing like that. It's going to be more from the perspective of a reminder from the point that what are the health benefits a teacher has being a teacher, and what are the health negative effects that a teacher has because of being a teacher. We'll talk about these things, and today's session need not have something called as a reflection form. That means there's not going to be any questions out there to ask on did you have your water today, select one of the options. No, nothing like that. So you just have to enter your details, the name, school name, and all the minimum details, provide a gentle feedback on how the session was, and you'll get your certificates if you have completed this today. So there is this no question of 7 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 today. It's just simple filling of reflection form on time before 12 midnight today, and you'll get your certificates. So that's with respect to the reflection form. Yeah. So let's quickly begin with today's topic, an interesting topic called as the healthy teacher. I remember the times coming from a teacher's background. I've seen my parents working really hard, and I've always seen my mother, mostly mother, being quite jovial both at the school and at home. She's always like this merry-go-round, and it's quite fun to see my mother. Even right now she's retired at this particular time, but they say, right, the teacher never retires, just like a police officer or an army person or a doctor for that matter, any profession. But for a teaching aspect, they still are completely involved with tuitions, they interact with children, and especially when you interact with pre-primary students all your life or primary students, you are always, or you tend to be a child forever in your life. And that's kind of the gift that a teacher actually gets. Similarly, in my case, with respect to my father, he's again comparatively a serious person than my mother, but very jovial with the students, has got this habit of teaching even now, not only to the students, but even to the people. I think most of you are able to relate with this particular fact that almost all the teachers, when a question is asked to you, I'll repeat it. When a question is asked to you, even if it's by your friend or your family member, you don't give straight answer. You sit down and you start getting on with an explanation, thinking that the other person is actually a student. The explanation takes a long time, and the other person will be like, why are you teaching me right now? To that extent. Well, this particular habit of teachers being teacher at all the places, I kind of find it to be a gift, because a teacher is the only person who knows to arrange a communication. They know what to be spoken first, what to be spoken next, and there is a lot of clarity in the way they speak. Only thing is, if you're a literature or a social teacher, maybe the language or a social teacher, your explanation is going to take comparatively a longer period of time to complete the answer, right? Mostly. Exactly. But on the other side, science and max teacher, they also go on a long explanation, no doubt in that. But comparatively, they find a shortcut to reduce the answer. Sometimes they don't even talk to you, because they know that the question that you're asking is completely dumb, especially when it's from your spouse. I do not know when that happens. So I am more with the perspective of it's preferable not to talk at home, because they have this tag on you. Ye aa gayi teacher, ye aa gaya bada teacher, something like that. So there are some special characteristics of teachers that's what we're going to discuss about today. And another interesting thing about teachers is that yeah, this is not your school. Yes, Meenal ma'am. Another interesting thing about teachers is that apart from the clarity that they've got in the communication, there is something called as flexibility. This is amazing. So you take any professional who's working in any other department apart from teaching, anyone for that matter, for them to change their mindset from what they're doing and to another job altogether, it's a huge task. For example, a doctor who is there working with the patients, and he's always into diagnosis, symptoms, and what is the right conclusion, this and that. It's going to be a radiology, or the reports and the medicine. When they come back home and there is a topic on, say for example, movies, and when the discussion happens, it's going to take a little extra time for the doctor to shift from being a doctor to being a movie enthusiast. It's a true fact. But for a teacher, it's spotless. A teacher can be a teacher in the school, absolutely serious, being a professional over there from teaching perspective. But the moment they come back home, they become probably a mother or a father. They completely change to the students and the surrounding. I'm not sure how many of you are able to relate this, because you are already a teacher. But when you see your relatives or somebody who's there at home, who do not get to shift their thought process that easily, it's very difficult. In fact, if you look at some person, you'll be able to identify, this must be so and so, that must be so and so person. But for a teacher, it's very difficult to say this must be a teacher. Why? Because we carry that potential of, I would say, shifting from one place to another in a very in a jiffy. Just a short span of time. You can argue and negotiate with an auto driver. At the same time, you can be very persuasive and polite, probably to your principal and HM. I do not know how else to put this, but oh, okay. I'm sorry. So that's basically from adaptability point of view. So this is another nice skill that I found in my parents. So whatever I'm going to speak today is going to be an absolute inspiration from the teachers whom I have met in my life, especially during my school and college days, and more importantly in my life, that is my parents. So let's quickly get on with the session today, teachers. It's going to be quite interesting. So a healthy teacher, and this is basically self-care amidst chaos. Why chaos? That when you enter a school, people say that the place where you work should have a positive mindset, a common mindset, a mindset towards a common goal. But unfortunately, in a school, I would say fortunately in a school, the mindset for each and every person entering the campus is going to be completely different. Just imagine, we are addressing at least 1,000 people at a time in a school on an average. So we need to understand that it's not about teaching alone. It is about not only about wearing the right uniforms, but trying to get an uniformity even in the mindset. And that's enormous. The responsibility that a leader in a school has got way more levels of cognitive thinking than any other profession for that matter. My wife is also a team lead. She's also a leader. But no, I don't think so. Leader should be the right word for her right now when compared to a principal. I hope you're able to understand. And every teacher in their own way is actually a leader in themselves. So for that, I would like to quickly show you something. Recently we came across an interesting statistics. Okay, this is by, I think, 21-22 academic year, and this is from the UDICE portal. UDICE Plus portal, I think everybody knows that. All the schools in the country has to enter the data over there. Watch this very carefully. This is going to be quite interesting. Indian education system landscape. Watch this. The Indian schools education system is one of the largest in the world with nearly 1.5 million schools, 15 lakh schools. Total put together, government aided schools, private public collaborated schools, international schools. If you take into everything, 15 lakh schools approximately, 9.5 million teachers, 95 lakh teachers. Well, there are some reports stating 93 lakhs as well. Some people say it is 97 lakhs, but let's have a conclusion. It's somewhere near 1 crore teachers. That's huge. And then more than 250 million students, which is accounting to 25 crore students from different socio sorry, this Diwali dust actually, from different socioeconomic backgrounds, studying at elementary grade 1 to 8 and secondary grade 9 and 12 level, UDICE plus 21, 22. Now, this is with respect to that particular data, and that's what we're going to discuss. And it's quite interesting. Look at this. While 69% of Indian schools are government run, they cater to 55% of students. So only 45% of the students study in private schools or private or government aided schools. Let us look into this graph. You'll get a so this is distribution of schools by management. Look at this. So 69% is government schools, and this 5% is government aided. You can see the yellow color contribution of 23% private aided, unaided schools, and this 3% is others, the international schools and the local schools that are started up by people across. And this is the distribution of enrolled children by management. So basically, here in this case, 55% students go to government schools, and only 32% of students go to private schools. 11% go to government aided, 2% are from the other category. Nice, na? But what is interesting? Look at this. This is the interesting fact about teachers. So it is about number of teachers by school management, again in millions. So here in this case, total number of teachers 2020 and 21 academic year, you can see 9.78 million, basically 97 lakh teachers approximately, and 2 lakh teachers, literally approximately 2 lakh teachers, more than that, resigned or they did not continue, and it became 95 lakhs in the year 21 22. So basically a lot of issues at that particular time, specifically the pandemic disrupted the education system to a very large extent. We'll talk about this as well, why there is a dropout of teachers, and even now it is happening gradually. We'll understand that as well. In government schools, 4.93 to 4.88. In government aided schools, 0.81 to 0.80, not much of a difference. Yeah. Then in private unaided schools, this is important, 3.65 to 3.54. So again, around 20, 25,000. But what's really interesting about private unaided school is there is a rotation of teacher. That means if a teacher leaves, immediately a next teacher is hired on the basis of contract, or, the private schools have got better ability to hiring because the process is comparatively simple. I'm going to talk about that as well. In other schools, unrecognized schools, 0.31 got reduced to 0.29. So government aided schools are recognized private schools that receive grants from governments. Other include recognized and unrecognized madrasas and other unrecognized institutions. See, whatever I'm speaking, they're all from this report on National Achievement Survey. Let me open that page. You will get a very clear picture. And this is called as National Report Card. Have you come across this by any chance? The National Achievement Survey is basically NAS report, and they keep talking about the country's education system. In this case, I really like this particular interactive panel. For example, here in this case, you can see that all India, there are 93, I told you, right? Nearly 94 lakh teachers present out there, and the literacy in India is 73%. They also talk about the ratio, sex ratio of male to female students. You can see 919 girls per 1,000 boys. So that means you can see here still the girls are comparatively at a lower side, lesser side. And now if I have to click on any particular state, say I click on Maharashtra. The moment I click on Maharashtra, I get the Maharashtra layout, and you can see 7 lakh 61 teachers are present in Maharashtra. The literacy rate is 82.3%. And that's quite interesting for this particular population. In fact, you can even click on, say, Palghar, Thane, Raigad, Pune, Satara, Sangli. Let's go to no, Ahmednagar. I wanted to go to let's click on Nagpur. So only Nagpur, you can see 34,155 teachers with literacy rate 88.39%. Now let's click on Pune. Pune has lesser literacy rate than Nagpur, and that was quite a surprising factor to me. I thought Pune has got better, and the teachers are comparatively more, way more. So when you actually come to this particular place of National Achievement Survey, you'll get a very clear picture of what's actually happening around the country. We're speaking on this for a certain reason, and let me give the link on the chat right away for everyone to access this little later. Yeah, let's come back to the presentation and that'll give you a good picture. And for this, let me go to the next slide. So when we talk about pupil to teacher ratio, this is quite a surprising factor. And I kind of not sure about it because I didn't conduct the survey, but I still want to know. See, look at this. According to the survey, it says that at primary level, the PTR, that is the pupil to teacher ratio, is 26.17. That means one teacher for 26 students. According to National Education Policy, we are supposed to have one teacher for 30 students. That means this is kind of achieved, right? But is that really a true scenario? Let's think about it. Upper primary level, 19.45. That means one teacher for just 20 students. Really? If that is the case, then you can say yes in my school. You can put it on the chat. Suppose if you say that I am just handling around 17 to 18 students in my class at secondary level, then you can mention that as well on the chat. And as per the higher secondary level, it's 27.08. However, all India level average figure for PTR does not reflect the real picture prevailing at the disaggregated level because the sample that was considered was not much. For example, at primary 1 to 5 level, while PTR in the state of Sikkim is only 7, one teacher addressing only 7 students at a time in the class. It is as high as 54 in the state of Bihar. And if there is any teacher out there who says that I've got way more students than 54 in one class, please put it on the chat right now. Is there anyone who says you don't have to mention the number? You don't have to mention your school name. That's completely fine. But if you say that I've got, more than 60 students sitting in my class, then please put it on the chat. So according to the survey over here, they say 54, but I still have witnessed teachers, having more than 60 students in a class. More than 23% of schools, around 0.35 million in absolute number, approximately 35 lakhs in India, do not meet the PTR target. Sorry, 35,000 meet the PTR target, and in around 10% of schools, one teacher serves more than 50 students. Are you one among them? 39 is to 1 for grade 2. Oh, that's big. 40 students, one teacher. Okay. And but primary classes, it's very difficult. Yeah. So let's go for the next one. Okay. So major challenges for a teacher, especially in India. What are the challenges that are happening? Let's understand. See, we are getting into all these things for that one line called as amidst chaos. This is the chaos that we're talking about. Let's understand some of the other chaos that's happening. The first one, digital divide. When a teacher enters the class, the first thing that they notice these days is a digital board out there, which is kind of important. I'm not saying that it's not important, but was there any provision for the teacher to really get equipped and trained on these areas? They would have got a little bit, but there's still a struggle. So there's a mental block for the teachers. Oh my God, I do not know how to use this. Oh my God, that teacher knows better than me. Something like that. So many students, especially in rural areas, lack access to reliable internet and devices, making e-learning challenging, particularly for marginalized communities and girls who often face additional access barriers. Second, high student to teacher ratios. Just now we discussed on that. That is major stress that's happening among the teachers in India right now. Second, socio-economic disparities. Already there are multiple movements in the country on the language policies. Again, in Kannada, sorry, in Karnataka right now, in Bangalore, still people are going with speak Kannada when you're there in Bangalore is another movement that's happening, and many people insist on that. We are not here to discuss on right and wrong. We are just here to talk about that it's present and the teacher is handling that. That's it. The right and wrong part of this, we will talk about that little later. Yeah, I'll not in this Sunday workshop, but in another workshop. But there is a huge socio-economic disparities even from caste and religion perspective as well. Even now, limited professional development, teachers have minimal access to training in digital tools and emerging trends, making it difficult to adapt to new teaching methods. And that is why we started Super Sunday workshop. I hope everybody in the country participates eventually. But anyways, finally, social challenges. Now this is again with respect to the gender bias that we were talking about, the language barriers and things like that. Now while these are some of the major challenges that are external and not really controlled, there are other challenges like management issues will be there. Your reporting manager will not really be appropriate for you. Probably you didn't want to teach grade 3 or 4, you wanted to be in grade 7 and 8, but unfortunately you're forced to teach that particular class. So these are other challenges that is again under your control up to a large extent. A school can still change it if it's projected properly, but that again adds to lot of stress, and there is another word called as burnout. Let's understand that. Now, physical and mental well-being of the teachers, all of the above factors affect the teacher's health in multiple ways, physically and mentally. Let's understand one by one. The first one is stress. Teachers can experience stress from the varied behavior of students, and this can lead to blood pressure. See, this particular slide is to heavily emphasize on all the teachers when, in case, if you are having pressure tablets right now, I mean, if it's in the process, then majorly that's because of your exposure to students and your fellow colleagues. Sometimes teachers are like, no, no, I'm able to handle the students. It's quite an easy task. But handling that one teacher in the staff room is a most difficult task. Or else handling that one particular coordinator or HM or principal is a suppose. Suppose if there is a problem with the leadership, the first thing a teacher can do is go approach the principal or the coordinator and try to get a change over there. If that's not happening, health is very important. Preferably come out of the school. Now, this is one important thing that I would like to register over here. Now, sometimes we are bound with the compulsions of salaries and being in a government job and things like that. That is the time when you have to come up with methods to actually manipulate that. Actually, come up with methods to resolve that particular issue. But the point is, if the stress is because of these factors, then it's important for the teacher to take a step. But importantly, we can't say that it's not there. It's always there. But stress is really one of the most, I would say, affected communities in the country should be the teaching community. Ask if anybody says, I've got too many problems in my life. Ask them to come and conduct one class for probably fourth or fifth standard students with around 40 people present in the class, or ninth and 10th standard students. I think any category can matter. They won't be able to take it. And then the respect level will increase, like skyrocket. Like, oh my God, I thought I have a lot of problems, but there's nothing in front of you. Something like that. Second is vocal cord issues. Well, stress is all about the mental effects of teaching. But anyways, we'll talk about stress in a detailed manner. We spoke about it in SEL as well. However, the physical aspect is vocal cord issues. I still remember some of my teachers even during the class conduction, like they're conducting. I remember Shushmita ma'am karke, there used to be a teacher who used to teach social science, and she came up with one device. Actually, I mean, something was uh, for the throat, and there were incidents where she was actually speaking and the blood was coming out. I've seen my father actually gargling regularly, just to avoid the ulcers that regularly get formed because of shouting regularly. See, some teachers have this innate quality, I would say, have this habit of becoming excited when they teach something that they really love, or when they do something. So for example, my father always gets into certain chapters in every grade, certain chapters in every subject. A teacher will have a favorite. For a science teacher, probably light could be the favorite. For a maths teacher, probably trigonometry could be favorite. There are multiple chapters, but one or two chapters will be your favorite. And when you get into that particular chapter, your excitement level goes so high that you start increasing your voice without even you realizing it. And many teachers in my school have even complained that Mr. Natarajan is very loud. Ask him to please close the doors and conduct the class, something like that. Now that excitement is very good for the children. The learning abilities of the children are going to really be way better. However, there's a problem. The problem of affecting yourself from vocal cord issues. So that is the reason most of these teachers somehow have very rough grunt voice, especially at the age of 50, 60. When they join as a teacher, they even have this ability to sing a song. Their voice is like probably a nightingale. And right when they retire, it's literally like a chimpanzee, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so that actually happens. It's not a wrong thing, but somewhere you have to take care of that. How do you take care of that? Probably you can have hot water or something like that every period, or you could use a speaker with a mic and with the permission from the school. And there are a lot of speakers that are available in the market. You just can put it and you can hold it. I will show one of them if possible, if time permits, and that can help you reduce your voice. But even with speaker, I've seen some teachers shouting, you know, as if that's the last period of their life. Yeah, most of the time family members don't recognize our voice. That's another big problem. Yeah, let's go for the almost 6 months afterwards. Someone else no. Oh, okay, that's great. That's great. During winters, the voice gets affected a lot. Vocal cord ruptures. You're absolutely right. And people after coming from an IT job say that they're tired. How? You're just simply sitting and looking at the computer. Don't say you're tired. Yeah. Anyways, posture problems is another important area. Teachers stand and teach for long periods, which can lead to bad posture and back pain. I don't know why I didn't mention the knee pain. Knee pain is another interesting thing. Interesting why? Because in many schools, even in the classroom, they do not have chairs. It is strictly by management that the teachers are not supposed to sit. What? Why? They should sit. So, in fact, some teachers they also have this problem of varicose veins due to continuous walk. I remember one of the teachers, like they say that never consider the last bench to be the last bench. So when a teacher is continuously walking in the class and teaching, so the last bench never remains the last bench after all. It's like the teacher stands at the last and they keep giving instructions to students. Look at the board, look at what I've written, look at the board, look at the chart over there. So that's kind of the ability of a teacher to make sure that everybody in the class gets involved. So that increases too much of fatigue because you keep walking. Varicose veins is another big issues in the school. And I don't know, so probably there is actually a belt for that. I would say more like a belt. It's like a sock. They wear it to the school. And in fact, even if you don't have varicose veins, there are some steps that, for example, preferably have a shoe or slippers or chappals that are having a good cushion factor. In fact, there is this slipper called as orthopedic slippers. They're quite good with the grip and quite comfortable while you put on it. And don't get judged. That's okay. Like sometimes students say that ma'am ne chappal pen ke aayi hai. The sir has worn just a chappal or something. Don't get carried away with that. That's completely fine. End of the day, your legs are very important. So apart from the vocal cord issues, the Dr. Soul. Yeah, you're right. Oh, correction pain is another big pain. I remember. Yeah, yeah. See, I remember my mother's fingers and my father's fingers. They have this impression of the pen over there. Back in those days, there used to be a pen called as Lexi. I do not know, and that used to be quite famous. And that used to have that did not have the grip on that. Then I suggested them, why don't you buy, then they changed. They don't even know that that's actually affecting them. Teachers, so selfless, I should say, for that. Okay, anyways, let's go forward. Next is posture problems with respect to the walking. Have you seen most of the teachers, their shoulders are shrugged like this? I do not know if that's the case with you. It's like kind of shrugged all the time, and that's maybe because of heavy lifting that happens on a regular basis and lack of exercises. And sometimes you always have this habit of too much of raising hands and writing, and that will give you pain over here in the shoulders. And you keep doing this. Well, unfortunately, that is not enough. You need to have probably a hot water bag massage, probably weekly once, to avoid those pains. So this comes under the category of posture problems. Next is very important, and that is infections. Now when we talk about infections, teachers are more prone to infections and inflammation due to the students in the classroom. Not only that, this is still mitigated. I do not know why I missed mentioning the effect of chalk. Now when you talk about chalk and its dusts, of course students do get affected with the chalk dust. However, a teacher gets you literally eat chalk. See, you just write it and all the powder it just directly enters. And then they came up with another chalk called as dustless chalk. What dustless chalk? I don't understand. That is also having a lot of dust. That's still harmful at the outset, right? So I think most of you have this problem, and this chalk not only affects your throat to a large extent, on lungs to a large extent, it also affects your eyes. It kind of then the people came up with this idea of whiteboard and marker, which is comparatively neat, which is comparatively clean, but still the smell from the whiteboard and marker is kind of affecting. Well, it's not largely, it doesn't have a great impact as such, but still. However, in spite of knowing all these things, the teachers still prefer to use chalk and the duster to teach the class. And sometimes the teachers will have their sari pallu and they'll keep it in the mouth and they do it. What will the male teachers do? They can't do anything. They don't care about it. And you know what? They'll be neatly dressed when they come to the school. And when they go out of the school, you should see there'll be all patches of chalk dust everywhere on their dress. It's not easy to wash that cloth. You know that? Anyways, infections is a major cause. But you know what? Somewhere one teacher very nicely mentioned the chalk dust has sculpted today's engineers and doctors and the leaders of the nation. So somewhere that chalk dust matters. But anyways, your health matters too, right? So be away from that. Let's see what could be avoided. Well, with regular intake of water, the effect is reduced to a large extent. Next is mental health issues. Teachers are more likely to experience mental health issues than general population. Already we are called as mental in most cases. I'm just saying. A Guardian report found that around 5% of teachers today are suffering from long lasting mental health problems. Now, this mental health problem is not because you're being just a teacher, it's because of burnout. So, suppose if it is monitored properly, there are a lot of mental benefits of being a teacher. We'll talk about that as well. Don't think this to be, oh my God, I am a teacher, I'm going to be mentally sick. No, nothing like that. There are a lot of reports stating about where Alzheimer's and dementia have not affected a teacher much in comparison to a general audience. So it's important for the teachers to realize that uh, mental health issues generally happen because of burnout and stress, but not because of being a teacher. Being a teacher has got a lot of advantages of being a mentally fit person. We'll talk about that as well. Finally, eye strain. Teachers do a lot of reading, which can strain their eyes, and the chalk dust also gets affected. So finally, musculoskeletal and cardiovascular diseases. Teachers are more likely to suffer from these diseases than the general basically the muscle pain and we were talking about the lung issues of coughing and sneezing and dust allergy, this and that. And sometimes when there's too much of stress, the pressure tablets that you take for the heart. So that's why they come under this category. But however, teachers, let me repeat something very important. While these are major issues that a teacher face in their day-to-day life, these, if monitored properly, if taken care properly, these can be mitigated to a very large extent. In fact, all these things could be converted to a plus point. Let's understand this. Let's understand this. I would like to request your participation for this activity, teachers. Just say yes or no. Okay, let's understand this. First thing, do you have a flask for hot water at your table in the school? Say yes or no. Yes. Do you have no? No means you need to have it. It's very important. Do you have a flask for hot water at your table in the school? If no, it's important. If there are school leaders out there, it's my humble request to have the setup of hot water available for the teachers. I think there are devices in which you just press of a button, you get the hot water. And when I say hot water, I mean hot water, not lukewarm water. Now it is up to the teacher, depending on the infections that they have in their throat, they can have their own mixing done for respective temperature. But the point is, hot water availability in every school, in every staff room is a mandatory thing. If not, then the teachers have to arrange hot water by yourself. You carry yourself. Correct. That's a fantastic thing. If you don't, then please arrange a kettle or something like that, and keep it in your locker if it's provided in the school. You have arranged that? That's fantastic. You carry two bottles. You have a microwave in all the staff rooms. That's interesting. Okay, okay. No need to carry. We have in our school. That's great. Let's go to the next question. Yeah, some schools there is no staff room. Basically, you sit outside the classroom or in the class itself. Try having your own hot water, and definitely, I'm pretty sure there's a plug point. School will not be that bad. You can use the plug point for the kettle, or the schools can arrange the kettle. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is very important from mental aspect. Do you have a game installed on your phone to quickly play and achieve those small milestones? It seems that when you start playing a game or when you have a habit of playing a game, wherein you have those targets of completing those levels, or having that angry bird going to level number 5 or 6 or achieving those extra stars, that kind of gives you a break from the monotonous work in the school. You can definitely say that where there is time right after the bell rings, I need to rush to the next class or something like that. But if you can have a game that is easily playable, it could be Candy Crush for that matter. Very simple. You just open that, and some schools phone is prohibited. I can't do anything about it. Probably you can have the PT room or go there and just play a simple catch or something like that. A simple tic tac toe with the teachers who is sitting beside you or with the students can give you a break. Let me repeat that break is very important. Break yourself from the stress that you're carrying. Of course, this will break two things: the stress, as well as if you're really in a good flow of work and if you feel that I'm really enjoying the day, and even that could be broken with the games habit. So probably depending on the type of sessions you are in, depending on the type of periods you have, can actually flow. Some people have this habit of scribbling on the notes that they have. So they probably draw the picture of a scenery. They do doodling. That's what they call. Oh, you do, Brinda, ma'am. I was just mentioning about it. Fantastic. Apart from Temple Run is good. Come on, 2048 is really good. I like it. And then there is this game on Sudoku. Sudoku time. It's time consuming. It's all number oriented. So if you like that brain game, then you go for it. Otherwise, you can install some really high graphics game if you want. Asphalt car racing game is really good. But something word search is a very good game. Yeah, exactly. Duolingo is also a very good app to learn a language while playing a game. So I really like that gamification aspect of Duolingo. You can play that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, let's go for the next one. Do you engage in a physical game at your school or at home? Do you do that? See, physical game could be hopping the squares, or you can go with marbles, or you go even catch could be a very good game, or a badminton could be a good game. A physical exertion is important. A simple walk with your friends is still considered to be a game. I'm trying to emphasize on the fact of getting yourself engaged in physical activities. If you do that, then that's great. Oh, you play Coco. Come on. Lena, ma'am, you just passed out your 12th standard, if I'm not wrong. And you just became a teacher. Playing Coco is immense. It's amazing. And if you can play the old games of, that I really like the marble games a lot. And many teachers I've seen in in remote locations where they have a ball or something and there's a target and they just try to they get three attempts, and or else worst case scenario, form a game for yourself. But it's important to have a daily routine of physical exertion, especially for the teachers. That physical exertion can warm up or cool down your body on a regular basis so that you're fit for next day's class. Not many schools have the lift facility, but the school will be 4 or 5 floors big. So in that case, you're exposing you're exerting a lot of pressure on your legs. It needs a little rest. Rest doesn't mean simply sitting. No, it also means cooling down your legs, stretching a little bit, and all these things add a lot of value. Let's go. Zumba in the evenings. Okay. Praveen sir, that's too much of a luxury. That's an interesting thing. If suppose you can dance for a song at home with your family members, or just shut the door and dance separately in a room, that's still a good idea. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay. Oh, you have a throw ball team. Okay. Let's go with the next one. This is very important for mental benefits, and I kind of love this. Do you have a friend outside your school to gossip about stuffs from the school? Say yes or no. Yes, you have it. No. Most of you must be like, I have a friend in the school itself. No, let's avoid that. We need to have a friend or a person who's outside. Some of you might say, I have a friend or a person outside the school, and that is none other than my husband or wife. Keep them away. Because one day when there is a fight, they'll try to bring this particular aspect, and they'll try to taunt you. That day also you were only wrong, your fellow colleague was always right, something like that. Having a friend, especially from school and college, is very important. If you have not messaged that particular friend for a very long time, today is the time for you to take up the phone and wish belated happy Diwali wishes, as the worst thing that you can do right now. But it's very important to have somebody or a fine circle who is not your colleague, and probably who's not your relative as well. Could be, maybe it's a neighborhood or somebody out there. Yeah, sister could be a very good idea. Brother could be a very good idea, but they're not living with you, I hope so. Yeah. Oh, you Diwali note, you gave a thank you note. Oh, that's sweet of you. That's lovely, lovely. Mother could be a very good person, but the problem with mothers, they will always say that you are right, and if that's what you like, then go ahead. But unfortunately, that gives you some sort of, I would say, convenience. Even if you're wrong, you talk to your mother, you'll feel right. That's why I stopped talking to my mom on things that I have made a mistake on. Do you get a quick nap? This is the last, no, not the last question. One very important question. Do you get a quick nap after coming from school? Maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. It's really, really very, very important. See, this nap, people generally think that having a nap in the afternoon or right after coming from school will delay the sleep in the night. No, there is no study proving that. So it's very important for the teachers, if you really feel tired and if you think that you can't sleep in the night, if you sleep in the evening or afternoon, that's a misconception. I would request you to take a quick A quick nap, and right after that a simple tea, 15-20 minutes sleep, and then probably half an hour sleep, and then a quick coffee or tea can give you the energy for all day. And the importance of nap, it'll actually disconnect you with the school. That means you carry a certain emotion from the school. You're super stressed. You're If the emotions is on the negative side, that's going to affect your personal life to a very large extent. So it's important for the teachers to make sure you take a quick nap. Also make sure not to carry anything from the school to home. My parents had this bad habit of carrying the bulk, answer sheets to correct at home. That's kind of well, that had a I got a beautiful childhood memory because of that. I used to total the marks. However, that kind of increases the stress to a very large extent. Preferably, please sleep. Yeah, please sleep. You have to carry. You don't have an option. Yeah, try avoiding it. Let's go to the next one. Do you sleep for at least 7 to 9 hours in the night? This has to be the bracket teachers. Some teachers say that no, my body 4 hours of sleep is enough. Okay, there's a lot of no for this, and there is a sudden no for this. Okay, never. No, not. Okay, I think this question is offending you, right? Teachers try to have at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep, at least 7 hours a minimum in the night. And I know it's going to be quite a difficult task, especially managing home and school. It could be both for men and women. And by the way, I forgot to tell you one statistics. Men and women teaching. Generally, people think that the teachers who are female are more than the men. It's actually not the case. It's exactly 50-50 in India. In India, that's a good statistics that I really liked. 50-50 in India, and not in many countries this is actually established. Only with the contract teachers, there is more of that means contract teachers in the sense the teachers who work less than 5 years. The teachers who work less than 5 years, there has been nearly 70% of the teachers are female and 30% are male. Anyways, that's with respect to that statistics. I forgot to mention that. So, do you sleep for at least 7 to 9 hours in the night? Make sure you do that. Somehow try to manage it full time. Now, do you take a snack which is protein rich, a snack that are protein rich like fruit bowl, nuts, boiled vegetables, sprouted grams, etc. could be suggestive based on specific body types. Now, this is again important, energizer, I would say. There are some schools where the pantries are present and they provide this, especially the yogurt, a quick lassi, a chai and a biscuit is still a good idea, but preferably something that's more raw, like fruits and vegetables could be a better alternate. So in the lunch, apart from the carbs that you take, like the rice and the dal is again rich in protein. But if you have, something like a fruit bowl, a portion of carbohydrates getting replaced with fruit bowl or vegetable salad can really regulate your toxins in your body in a very nice manner. So if you can have that, cereals is a very good thing. And one very important study reveals, I'm not sure about it, I would like to request you to please research on it, reveals that juice is still not preferable. Rather than having a juice, having the bite of the fruit is way more advantageous. So if like it's like when you have a juice, it cuts down on the fiber content of that particular fruit and vegetable. I got to listen to this from Dr. Paul. Most of you might know Dr. Paul on the YouTube is all over, right? That fellow speaks a lot on the gut, basically, the digestive system. I would request you to actually listen to him. And he very nicely mentioned that more than the juice, the fruits and vegetables play an important role in energizer. Of course, juice is a little more satisfying than the raw fruits. However, it's your choice, but go for it. Research on that and then go for it. Anyways, so that's with respect to yes and no teachers. We have come up with these pointers that you could take forward so that that'll benefit you. Now coming to the last part of our session where we talk about if addressed and taken care, who are teachers? Who is an LD teacher? Look at this. Look at this. A teacher who is into teaching. I mean, a person who is into teaching will have better mental engagement. So teaching requires continuous learning and adapting, which keeps the brain active. Engaging in planning, problem solving, and creativity can help maintain cognitive health, potentially reducing the risk of mental decline with age. That's a real study. So, if addressed and taken care properly, all the above factors that is affecting you, mental engagement is really good with the teachers. They have a very good routine and stability. Every day morning, they wake up at the right time, they have the breakfast in the right time, lunch at the right time, and probably when they come back home, the dinner at the right time. So, this routine and stability is not that easily possible for any other profession. The other day, I went to meet a doctor at 3 p.m., my appointment, and that doctor had not had the lunch. There was a huge crowd. He says that I'm not able to, have my lunch looking at the number of patients they are. There are. So I think teaching profession, the bell rings, it's just like a prison, right? The bell rings and then all the qaidis have to come and anyways. Nothing like a prison, but anyways, physical activity. Teachers are more often on their feet moving around the classroom, which increases daily physical activity. So physical movement, even moderate, can improve cardiovascular health, reduce the risk of chronic illness, and enhance physical fitness. That is the reason you will find that most of the teachers, even at 60, they don't look like that they're retiring. Yeah, they in fact continue their tuitions right after their retirement. I've seen some teachers even at the age of 75, 77 coming to my tuitions and teaching me on physics and maths. And they are flawless. They're amazing. And in fact, most of the ad hoc teachers that come to the school, especially in government schools, they are teachers who are retired. Anyways, social interaction. This is amazing. Teaching involves interacting with students of different culture, backgrounds, and parents. Well, talking to parents is altogether a different ball game and it's a very difficult task. However, I'm pretty sure the teachers develop some rapport with certain parents where the communication is kind of really nice, right? It's like they are very closely bonded about the child. So regular social engagement has been linked to better mental health as it provides emotional support and reduce feelings of loneliness and isolation. Now this is that something that I can relate. Finally, I would really like to, cheer all the teachers for this particular point. Sense of purpose and fulfillment. Teachers can see an immediate feedback of their work from the students. You spoke something to the students right now, and you're able to see that they're really happy about it and successful in their life right now. So it's like teaching is a meaningful profession that allows individuals to make a difference in students' lives that you can witness. So the job satisfaction level with teachers is comparatively way higher than any other profession. I think I can strongly say that. Yeah. Anyways, emotional resilience. We were talking about adaptability, right? So teachers develop strong emotional skills from managing classrooms and handling diverse personalities. This emotional resilience can translate to better stress management and mental well-being outside the work as well. So these are some of the benefits of being a teacher. So anyways, this is a very large point that I got generated from AI. But anyways, I would like to quickly read it, not completely. The healthy teacher has better empathy and compassion. The healthy teacher has got a lot of resilience and perseverance. The healthy teacher is always having a certain level of a maximum level of integrity and accountability. I take that responsibility. Don't worry. I'll take care of things. That word mostly comes from a teacher. Curiosity and lifelong learning. The teachers, considering the way they interact with the students, they keep asking questions that trigger even your topics. For example, one of the recent questions that really left me perplexed, of course, it has got a scientific reasoning and I was able to give it. But the question was, the child was asking, ma'am, when I touch you, you seem to be comparatively hotter but I am comparatively colder. But still, we both are considered to be normal. The body temperature, the normal body temperature, what is it exactly? But touching you actually makes me think that you are hotter. Now, that particular, question from a fifth standard student was quite intriguing. I was like, wow, that's a good question. Let me find the right answer for it. Something like that. Next comes patience and tolerance. You will find that most of the families with the teachers being in that, the fights are comparatively lesser because they'll able to tolerate the other person. But the problem is if both are teachers, the fights are maximum. Let's see who is a better teacher in our life. Are you or am I? Something like that. So that's with respect to patience and tolerance. Next is adaptability and flexibility. We spoke about that, right? They'll have this nice habit of switching from one point to another just like that. Strong communication skills. They start narrating a story to explain a simple concept of why is it raining right now. They'll start from the water cycle probably. Now that's with respect to strong communication skills. Very important, selflessness and service orientation. I think even if a student is asking, ma'am, could you please stay back for some time and explain me this, they never related that question with the salary that they get. On an average in India, a government school teacher gets around 25,000 rupees on a monthly basis as an average salary. Remember, 25,000 rupees. But for a private school, the same average salary is around 13,000 rupees. I'll repeat it, around 13,000 rupees. That means in India, still there are many schools where the salary is way lesser than 13,000 and way lesser than 26,000. So this is an important survey again from the same document, National Achievement Survey. You can look into that. But the point is that never comes between solving a student's query. Selflessness and service orientation. Finally, confidence and self-efficacy. Now that's like Who can be a better confident person than a teacher? A teacher generally, if they find a dumb question coming in front of them, they don't answer it. They're like, yeah, you might be right, and they move on. They don't waste their time. Positive mindset and encouragement. I've seen most of the teachers, they might appear very strict in the classroom, but one of the most jovial and nice people on earth. I am still in touch with some of the teachers like that. Anyways, I would like to play one last video on teaching. Teaching, you will never forget teaching. Interesting video, but more from connection point of view, and then we'll close for the day. Please watch this, teachers. You will like it. I've chosen another country's video because most of the videos in India are either in Hindi or else it's by an organization that might have a copyright strike. So I'm choosing this one.
Was true. I, of course, replied, something here inside cannot be denied. They said, someday you'll find all who love are blind. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes.
Nanita, anak, dalit maghanda ka na. Baka mahuli tayo.
Ma! Nay! Saan ako kayo pupunta?
Sa school. Hinihintay na ako ng mga estudyante ko.
Nay, di ba matagal na po kayong retire?
Papasok na ako.
Nay, ilang taon na po kayo hindi nagtuturo? Pahinga na kayo.
Lola, ano pong basa dito?
Sabi ka sa akin. Ito, ha?
Paano po ito basahin?
Oh, this is how do we describe things. Ulit.
How do we describe things?
Okay, good.
Ito po. Ano pong basa dito?
This is grasshopper. Sa Tagalog, pipaklong.
Tipaklo.
Galing. Ito pa, ito
Galing
pa.
natin.
Okay, so that was with respect to one of the Teachers' Day videos, and a teacher never forgets to teach, right? They don't rest. So I hope you got some clarity on the health benefits of a teacher. So try applying all those habits and become as healthy as possible. We at Super Teacher very strongly believe that speaking to the teachers or talking to the teachers is directly proportional to the growth or the rate of growth of a country's development. So it's very important for all the teachers out there to make sure that you take care of your health. If health is lost, something is definitely lost. Everybody will say there are 1,000 problems in their life until they are allowed to handle one classroom for just 10 minutes. So it's really important for all the teachers to be mindful about our regular habits, both physically and mentally. It's not the job responsibility. It's the way of life of a teacher. Accidentally or by chance, I would say, or by intention, people have become teachers out there, and we just need to remember what it has to take or what it is to be a teacher. So thank you so much, teachers. Great interacting with one and all on another Super Sunday workshop. And this time we touched upon the healthy teacher, self-care amidst chaos. Please take care of yourself. I would like to meet you in the next Super Sunday workshop with another interesting topic. Keep forwarding the information of Super Sunday workshop that happens every Sunday, 10 to 11. If you can spend a brief time, that'll remind you of what you are, who you are, and why you are. So that's really important for all the teachers to connect. And I hope to carry on with this legacy of Super Sunday workshop as long as possible until the people keep participating. So let's close for today, teachers. Thank you so much. Great interacting with one and all. Jai Hind. I'll see you in the next Super Sunday workshop. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Tamana ma'am. Good to see you. Triveni ma'am, thank you so much. Shankar sir, thank you. Happy Diwali to one and all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Saleha ma'am. Thank you so much. Arnab sir, Sonal ma'am. Happy Bhai Dooj. Kiran ma'am, thank you. Thank you, Neetu ma'am. Thank you, Lina ma'am. Today you don't have questions on reflect. I'm just noticing the chat. No questions today. What questions do you really want on a healthy teacher? Let's not have any question. I'll talk to people and get the certificates for everybody who's filling the reflection form today. Thank you. Thank you, Sita ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining regularly. Mona ma'am, Vandana ma'am, Balram sir. Thank you. Thank you. Arunima ma'am, good to see you over here. Thank you. Thank you, Arogya Mary ma'am. Thank you so much. So healthy, no questions. Yeah. Thank you, Lina ma'am. Thank you, Nosheen ma'am. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Deepthi ma'am. Means a lot. Same to you. Thank you, Hemlata ma'am. That's nice of you. Thank you, Sakshi ma'am. Thank you, Subbalakshmi ma'am. Nirmala ma'am. CHM certificates will be delivered to each and every teacher who have participated by next Friday for the month of September and October. Yeah. Uh, by this Friday. It's dispatched due to the rains. It got delayed, it seems, but we have already done it. If you need the tracking and the details, please message the Super Teacher team members. You have it on your chat, right? Yeah. Healthy workshop indeed. Kalpana ma'am, good to see you like that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sanjukta ma'am. Thank you, Kiru ma'am. Rama ma'am. Thank you, Mridula ma'am. Thank you, Seema ma'am. Thank you so much. Great. Okay. Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Means a lot. Arunima ma'am, you will be getting it. It's already there in Kolkata. You will be getting it. If you need more clarity on that, please message me. Thank you, Anushila ma'am. That's great. Chalo. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you in the next Super Sunday workshop. Bye.